Ladies and gentlemen, it is Morokai with 2 Eyes. We're back on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. I'm very excited about the guest today.
Massive guest.
Massive.
Probably the biggest.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm excited.
Big title.
We've got our friend Frost.
How we going, boys?
Good, mate. Good.
Lovely.
How you feeling? This is your first pod.
It is. It's weird.
It is. Nice and relaxed, though. Kind of feels like high school, just chilling.
I mean, I'm sweaty, but that's nothing new. But
That's all right. This room is quite hot,
It was way worse the other day. Now, we're doing this audio only. Our friend Frost, he's in the council, and he's trying to work his way up to... Rule number 1 of the pod, mate. Don't interrupt. And he's trying to work his way up to treasurer, so we don't want to, implicate him in anything that's wrong.
we don't want to set him off.
So
For his
audio
own
only.
safety.
I've got one bone to pick with you, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You're back when we would have been maybe 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your dog that you love so much.
Yeah,
bit me on the ass.
What?
What do you mean? What?
I don't remember this.
I do. I think it's when my fear of dogs started. I walked into your house and your dog goes nuts at the window. Yeah, she does. And you love your dog more than anything, right?
Yeah, I will always choose her side.
Yeah, 100%. You were going to go to the battle. And you said, act calm, she's fine. And I'm just seeing these massive teeth looking at me like I'm scared shitless. And he's just like, no, act calm. And I walk in and I'm like actually like shaking. The dog knew. The dog knew so much. And then just as I walk in and slowly shove in, bang on the butt. It was like a little...
Like a little nip?
Little nip.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
she could have torn me apart. She could have fucking torn me apart. Mate, but what's been happening with you? You bought a house?
I did. I bought a house.
How's that whole process?
It's good. I hated the process.
Did you?
Yep, I hate it. I know you probably would have found it a bit easier.
Yep.
But I hated it. Just not knowing what I was doing, what I was signing, just watching the money disappear.
And it disappears fast.
Oh, yeah. The biggest transfer I've ever done in my life.
Hidden costs. Yeah.
Oh, and hidden costs, literally. And just dealing with the banks and stuff. Like, I don't know what it means. Like,
I would think we used to catch up at Hungry Jack's a lot, like heaps. I think that was the spot. And your biggest purchase back then was when if we did the Shake and Win app and then maybe you won something extra and you went, fuck it, boys, I'm going back for seconds. So from that to a house deposit, pretty big.
Yeah, massive jump.
yeah, yep. Building cupboards for $10 now paid off.
Yeah, you did do that for a while.
For a long time.
You had a crazy... I forgot about that. You worked with someone who was pretty nuts.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We'll call him Barry.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he was something else.
He used to just give your apprentice like hell, didn't he?
Oh no, that's a different one.
Oh, that's a different
No,
one.
wow.
this one was just a pest. Like if he's not on a list, I'd be amazed.
Oh, shit. Some juicy information for the pod.
Yeah, but I used to work with him. He's long gone now, thank
He's
God.
long gone. Yeah,
And out of my life.
Yeah.
He used to drive me home because I didn't have a license.
No.
So like he'd drive me home, right?
Yep.
That's it. Like he'd drop me off. He knew where I lived, yeah?
Yep.
And sometimes he'd make weird comments like, oh, I know where you live. Ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, that's a weird thing to say.
That is.
And then he goes further, just, I know which one's your bedroom. It's this one. I'm like, what? I've never told you which one's my bedroom. How do you know where I sleep? Walks away.
Fair enough.
Nah, fuck that.
Nah, what a classic Frost story. Now, so when with the house, did you have, because where you bought, did you have much competition? There's not much competition out there.
So much, man.
So much, really.
I think it was more when I bought.
Yeah.
So, like, houses would go on the market, have one opening, be sold. And, like,
Shit.
I'd get calls from land rats where they'd be like, this person's 20 grand more than you. Do you want to match? And, like, I'm already capped. Like,
Yep.
I'm max. So I'm like, no, I don't want to match. and yeah, so we had a lot of trouble actually getting a house.
Why on earth did you not? I was about to say. Don't worry.
Why would you not ask one of our good friends?
Yeah, we've got good mates that could have helped you with this easily. Not saying I know anyone, but 100% I could have helped you with all that negotiation. He could have helped you with all that negotiating and everything.
You know, I never actually even thought of that.
Goose.
I don't know why.
He could have saved you so much money.
Nah. But we got very lucky in the end.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we got a house that it needs a lot of work, and it is in the middle of nowhere, but it's a mint house, like
Yeah.
mint land.
Oh, it'd just be cool to even just have your own place anyways, as someone who still lives at home at the age of 27, so...
There's no, that's not odd these days though.
True,
man.
true, but...
That is not odd at all. And not only that, you got a good little stack of cash to back
true.
you, do you know what I mean?
True.
So what's it? I've always wondered, we did have a friend who decided to move out there and travel to work was massive where he is. How are you finding the travel?
So I'm lucky, since COVID, I don't have to always be at work. I can work from home every now and again.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep. Since you
So
changed
my
up.
week's split
Yep. In the council.
in the council.
They let you take the money home to count? Like,
Yeah, yep.
Sweet.
I actually work for the bank. But yeah, the Commonwealth is pretty pretty lenient on letting me work from home.
Beautiful.
But I know my girlfriend, she has to travel an hour and 20 every day, and that is a big thing.
Not there. Do you mean
Each
there
way.
and back?
Each way.
way. Fuck right off.
Yeah, hour 20 each way, which she can't work from home either.
Yep.
She doesn't mind the drive
Yep.
because she carpools with a friend, and she'll listen to audiobooks and whatnot.
Yep. Yep.
But the fuel.
Yeah, the fuel is a
God.
kicker, especially nowadays.
The fuel is massive. What was it?
It's
it was
ridiculous.
210 at one point.
Yeah.
That was when you would have been living there too. Like, it was
Yeah.
just
And
ridiculous.
then if it's diesel as well, it's more again.
Yeah. So
It's just-
she can carpool with someone?
So, yeah, she does, but she always drives, but that person gives her money.
Oh, perfect. That's good.
That's a good, that's a good friend.
Because
then.
that person doesn't like particularly driving.
Yeah, yep.
So they just,
They've sorted
like, we
something
may
out.
as well save money.
yeah, makes it easy for
See,
both of them.
that's good. I love nothing more than like chilling back with Snore podcast. Could be anything. Like Joe Rogan. Like, I don't like all of his stuff, but there's some guests where, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'll just be like,
Mate,
mate,
I hate Neil deGrasse Tyson. I have never met someone more... The worst scientist you can imagine.
Struck a nerve. I was just going on.
I love that. That was so quick.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. What a
Not
joke.
a fan.
Not a fan.
I didn't like how he interrupted Joe so much.
Well, he's just... The way he speaks, it's almost like he's just like a fake scientist, you know?
I'll agree with that.
Like, you know how like the science sort of thing is like always be open-minded, you know?
Yep.
With stuff, he was like, nah, there's no way there's life outside of Earth.
He
We
said
would
that.
have found something like that. Yeah, I could be wrong. Something like that, you know? Like,
Actually, let me backpedal.
something like that, because like, you know, we would have found it by now, or something like, no, it wasn't that. It was like something like, why would they contact us? You know, why would they be interested in us?
That's crazy.
But like, I feel like he just looks at like
Very
such a
one-dimensional,
small picture.
like in
It's
that
like
sense.
Yeah.
sitting in this lounge room, you know, and being like, studio,
Don't dox us.
sitting in this studio and being like, you know, there's no water on Earth because there's no water in this studio, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll agree with
correct,
that.
correct.
Well, we've got some conspiracy theories we want to deep dive with you very shortly, but there's still some stuff. There is so much I want to.
Yeah,
catch
there's a lot.
So, okay, has your girlfriend said that? Because after a while, sure, podcasts are great, and sometimes you get in the car and you're like, I can't wait. Like, this one's going to be awesome, mate. If you've had a long day at work, the last thing you want is like an hour 20 drive home.
Yeah, so it sucks, but it was sort of the compromise we had to make. So we wanted land,
Yeah,
and the only way we could afford a house closer to both our works.
no, you're right. You're spot on. That location is literally the only one that's not too crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's another location that's about another further 20 minutes, and there is some township there that is a bit hippy dippy and stuff, but that is a drive.
Is this your original
Nah, further, way further.
right?
Yep, starting with the W.
You're right.
Yeah. So, all right. So, how's house
Oh,
ownership?
no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
we had to drop off one of her friends there once, middle of the night, like
Oh my god.
12:01, because her
Yep.
car broke down on that highway,
Yeah.
starting with W.
Yep.
And anyway, we we were like, oh, we can't leave like a woman by herself in the dark on that highway. Like you're in the middle of nowhere. And it was during COVID, so the tow truck driver refused to take her in the cabin, which
for fuck's sake.
is like, to his credit, his company wouldn't let him, but he said he'll stay with her until someone can pick her up.
Okay.
Because like middle of the night on that road, you're in the middle of nowhere. Like,
Yeah, 100%. And there's actually some dodgy people out there.
there's a lot of dodgy people out there.
Yeah.
Which I saw one on the way here.
Yeah, mate, there's a guy, me and my girl, I might be able to play it. I recorded it today. Hold on, just real quick. I sent this. What would you do if you heard this at 12 a.m.? Oh, you might not be able to hear it.
I smell
No,
you.
you can't. We just hear this like, wah, wah. And my girlfriend rushed to the window. What the fuck is that? And we think that there's some drunk guy walking up and down the street. There must be like a home somewhere near here because it's this real old bloke who just walks down the street, and we saw his carer this morning.
Oh,
right?
okay.
But in the pitch of night, there was like, we couldn't see anything. So we just hear like this little like walking and just,
So he's not drunk, he's disabled. You just bullied him.
no, I wasn't bullying. How dare you? You're hyping the council. We can't dive into that kind of talk.
Jeez. It's dangerous.
Mate, there was also one time that I want to ask you.
Specifically.
We had a hilarious moment where during school, we obviously all went to school together.
Yes, correct.
Undisclosed.
Yep.
You had a moment where there was a bit of drama. Your dad got involved in this drama, and he pinned. And it's honestly Lee's favourite fucking story.
It is.
And long story short,
It's one of the best.
Our big group of mates, I would say we had a pretty big group of mates.
Oh, shit.
We, because I was there, kind of fucked you over a fair bit. All right, now that I look back, we put you in a pretty shit spot.
Yeah.
Okay, we put a big mattress in front of your house, wrote "fuck you," and it wasn't for you; it was for your neighbour.
Yeah.
Right? Your dad obviously got upset, and he messaged the wrong people.
Yeah.
Just people in our school, but not in our group.
Yeah.
Can I please, for the love of God, because
Dude, just look through the mutual friends.
no, I want to know.
Yeah, he did.
I want to know if that happened to me. My heart would literally sink of like embarrassment. Did that happen to you, or were you too annoyed at the time? Like, what was going on in your head?
I was devastated. So I almost knew it was going to happen. So I was. So that
done it
night
before.
when that all went down, I was studying for like a TAFE exam, and I was like, I just want to study. Like I'm not coming out.
He just wants to do
And
well
so
in his school.
everyone was blaring music in my street, and that's why the crazy neighbour came out and went crazy. And so that mattress was the revenge, and I'm like, no, you actually didn't. I checked in the morning. I used to leave in the dark because I'd have to go into the city. And I checked in the morning. I couldn't see anything. So off I went, happy as whatever. And I get a phone call while I'm in my exam. My phone is going mental. I'm like, what is going on? I finish my exam, I get out, and I'm getting sprayed. I want names! Me and your mother have just dragged this across the road and just in front of everyone. And I think it was another neighbour that let my parents know. I don't know how they knew it was related to me.
Showing it with a big fuck you. You walk past all the names.
Because he's had beef with the other neighbour's son, who is a bit younger than us.
Yeah.
So once he sort of got over our like feud, he moved on to him.
Okay.
Yep.
To be fair, this guy is off his bloody meds. He's crazy. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
someone was parking in front of his, like opposite his driveway, which fair, annoying, but like you can't stop people doing that.
Yeah, nothing to
So
kick
what's he
up
do?
about.
He goes off at them, and then the next time it's free, he spread like a bunch of thumbtacks on the road in that spot. It's like, dude, it's not that deep. Like,
Relax. Okay, so your phone's going nuts. Your parents are getting angry. You're obviously sitting there like, oh my God, I have to deal with that. This is annoying. Well, it's not even annoying. It's just like now I have to deal with like going off at my mates and like calming my dad down. When and how did you find out he messaged the wrong people?
So it was one person that he messaged wrong, but so that one of our mates that was there has a nickname that is the same name as this guy.
Yeah.
And, like, I knew this guy from high school. Like, we weren't best mates, but, like, we were friendly.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy, and, like, we just didn't...
flog, but yeah.
No, he was a good bloke. But we only sort of knew each other from 1 or 2 classes, and, like, we weren't best mates. We weren't hanging out all the time. And as soon as I hung up the phone after saying, like, the names...
Oh, you ratted.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I was so angry, man. There was no chance I was protecting anyone. I still cop heat for this every now and then. If it ever gets brought up, I get... And I'll get to it. But the worst part was I got the biggest spray out of anyone and I wasn't even involved. But he... As soon as I hung up, I'm like, oh, like, that's not his name. I'm like, no, well, how's he going to know? Like, he's not going to contact them. Yeah. Anyway, I get a message from that guy. And he's like, hey, man, I don't know what happened. I don't know what your mates did, but your dad just went off at me on Facebook. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. So he's gone through my Facebook friends, found the name, which would have been the only one on there, even though that was a nickname that wasn't this kid's real name. And he's messaged him going off. And this kid's just messaging me instantly. He's like, dude, what the hell? Like, and this reply was like, hey, man, I don't know what happened, but I wasn't, like, involved. I don't hang out with...
I'm Alex. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Melbourne, Victoria, and I work in warehousing.
Edit that out. Bunnings is really not going to like that.
Oh, shit. Sorry, go on.
And yeah, so I had to deal with that. And then the worst part was I got home and my parents made me get in the car as they went round to each house.
Oh, no.
Each house.
This is what you do in a 9-year-old when they nick-knock the property, like they nick-knock the street. Oh, you've hurting my lungs. So did you have to go and apologise to each person?
No. So I didn't apologise. I wasn't involved. So they went to each person's house to speak to their parents.
Oh.
And
you were bordering 18, by the way. Like you were.
I was like 19. I just didn't want to be homeless. And like the main instigator, who I'm sure you both know, it's the main instigator in everything. Yes. Could win Survivor if you wanted to.
Few setbacks.
So my dad gets there, and it's look, I respect you for owning up and apologising. Just don't do it again. Leaves. I copped the biggest spray ever. I'm getting screamed at. It was
Wasn't
not
allowed to
good.
have dinner at the table.
Would you say? Is that the worst he's ever gone off at you?
No, probably not.
What would be the worst?
Oh, it's hard to remember. I don't know.
There's a lot. Yeah.
It was usually stuff I never did. And I know that sounds so cliche, but
Yep.
I always get in trouble. Like when I do things, I tend to get away with it. But when I haven't done anything is when I get in trouble.
Yep.
Like at school with being the ringleader, if you boys can recall.
Oh, well, can we coming to the end of this, what I really wanted to talk about, and I completely forgot this until Lee brought it up before you got here, that there was a whole Facebook page dedicated to you becoming a school president, and it got some traction, and you wanted
Some posters were printed out as well. With your face.
You wanted literally nothing to do with it, and then it got to the point where there was like, I think, an incident with a couple with a guy that was very whipped that you got involved in. Is that correct? Am I remembering that right?
I had nothing to do with it, but because it was on a Facebook page that had my face, my name, I got dragged straight in, and they thought it was me doing it. And they were like, look, we get he's your mate, but, you know, you can have a bit of banter, but you've taken it too far. I'm like, I don't know him. I don't know him. I haven't had any. I'm getting bullied here.
This is next episode because this is one of my funniest things ever. Because I remember you would take things pretty lightheartedly. Like you would be pretty great about it, and then I remember you came out of that pissed. Like the teacher's asking me, like, "What do you mean? Why would you have a Facebook page with your face and your name on it?" And you're just like, "I don't. I am telling you this." And the teacher just could not comprehend. He's like, Who would on earth, who would make a Facebook post dedicated to you being president? And you're like, the fucking guy next to me. Like, I'm telling you the truth.
It was not until I said his name to, so it was all the like senior staff like were grilling us, which realistically, a bit overboard.
Nah, this is too good of a story, guys. This is Morokai 2 Eyes. Make sure you tune into the next one for a great story. Oh, boom.
Boom.